Welcome back, beer tubers. Time to take a look at a classic beer from Alaskan Brewing Company. This is their 2012 vintage of Smoked Porter, 6.5% beer. What's awesome about this brewery is they actually smoke their own malt for this beer, which sets it apart from some of the other smoked beers out there. Pours out not completely pitch black. You can see some dark mahogany notes in there. So it's really on par with the style. The head's got a kind of a very nice light brown. Head faded away pretty good. Certainly some carbonation in there. Let's get the nose. Oh yes, just a wonderful smoke character. Just campfire, big time like campfire smoke. It's got a little bit of that meaty, sort of bacony character to it, but not as much as the German style smoked beers. A little fruitiness in there, probably either coming from the darker malts or the yeast strain. Some sweet bread. Not a whole lot much. I mean, this beer is fresh, relatively fresh, and the smokes just tends to really dominate the aroma. It's just so smoke forward, it's hard to pick up some other stuff. Getting a little bit of a hint of a dark chocolate character in there as well, but let's dig in. Cheers. Oh, that's nice. Real smooth beer, but there is a little bit of bitterness. Certainly it's got a bittersweet thing going, definitely a balance to the beer. Notice right away. Medium body beer, 6.5%. So up front is that sweetness. It has a lot of a caramelly, bready sweetness to it, and there's also like a berry note in there, like a touch of like a blackberry and then like a reddish berry. Not quite a cherry, not quite raspberry, but just a nice kind of darker kind of berry note to it. A little bit of a dark fruit sort of character that's probably going to develop over time, but right now it's just kind of that just generic sort of fruitiness, and then it transitions into some nice chocolate character, and then the finish is big smoke, that big campfire, almost bacony smoke character, and that helps dry out the beer. There's a little bit of a bitterness in the back end. Don't know how much that might be hop or coming from maybe some of the darker roasted notes. There is a little bit of a roasty, slightly charred character on the back end too. And that kind of works with the smokiness from that smoked malt to balance out the big sweetness up front. The beer has some nice complexity so every time you drink it, you get different flavors kind of coming forward. Sometimes it drinks a little sweeter, more of that like milk sort of semi-sweet chocolate character to go with some of those darker fruits, and caramel kind of pops up more, and then other times the drier, roastier, smokier character comes through. So depending on your sips, how long you sit it on your tongue and all that, the beer changes. It's got nice complexity to it. It's an absolute world-class beer. They've been doing this a long time, smoking their own malt for this beer. It's very unique because they're using, I believe, alderwood to smoke the malt, which gives it a little different character than some of the other beers that have the oak smoked or the beechwood smoked character or the peat smoked malt. It just adds a little bit more unique character to this one, and it's an absolute classic. It's an A beer for me. It's excellent stuff. It ages amongst some of the best beers out there at 6.5% because I believe it is bottle conditioned, and the smoke character really just helps preserve the beer over the long run. And I've heard people doing verticals where the smoke character kind of comes and goes as you age it. Sometimes it'll kind of ramp up, and then other times it'll be buried a bit more. So it's a fun one to age if you want to do that as well. I have an 09, I believe, is the oldest one I currently have at the moment. So I'll be checking that out at some point, but check out the 2012, get it, put it in your vertical if you have one going for sure. It's an absolute classic. Until next time, please comment, subscribe. Cheers.